Sonic Adventure, one of, if not the most important Sonic games. Either you love them or hate them, but you gotta admit that if it wasn't for these two games, the Little Blue Bird might not have been as big of an icon as he is today. Personally, I think the only logical way to start this video is with the first game, Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure released in the US September 9th, 1999, and on December 23rd, 1998 in Japan. While the cutscenes and character models may look questionable at first, as soon as you play this game for yourself, you will completely understand why everyone puts this game on a pedestal. Sonic Adventure has 6 playable characters, all with unique gameplay styles. From fishing with Big to finding Emerald Charge with Knuckles, every playthrough is different. Sonic's story is the longest while Amy's is the shortest, only having 3 action stages. Alright, let me give you a general rundown of what happens in the first game. You ready? Okay. Eggman awakens a literal water god, and the Kitten tribes are wiped out. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and Big help defeat Chaos, the angry water god from earlier. And he is laid to rest back in the sacred temple thing, whatever it's called, I forgot. Oh yeah, and he basically consumed all 7 Chaos Emeralds and became a giant demon type thing. It's pretty cool, but you know, it's very not fun to fight with the old controls. Now let me explain why so many Sonic fans, new and old, love this game. For starters, the controls, excluding the camera, are really solid and fast-paced, as a Sonic game should be. After all, he is the fastest thing alive. Second is the freedom. You can go basically anywhere and do whatever you want in this game, whether that be the terrible racing minigame in Twinkle Park, or just progressing the story. This game makes you feel like you're on an adventure. That idea is extended in the PC version with mods, with different characters, level packs, and even stuff that completely changes the game. One big reason people really enjoy Sonic Adventure is because of the soundtrack. The soundtrack, you know, it had a little bit of something for everybody, right? You got techno with the Gamma, you got heavy rock with Sonic, and then you've got the God-sent Believe in Myself for Tails. If you have not listened to that, you have to go listen to it right now. You are missing out. Also, all the background music in this game are from the first 2 games, so none of the music in this video I own. Just want to go ahead and say that. That won't save you from a copyright strike, or not strike, claim. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you get it by this point. I'm gonna move on to the next topic now. Now you're probably wondering, where can I play this game? How much does it cost? And is it worth it? Well, you can get it on, secondhand on Dreamcast, GameCube, and CD-ROM for the PC. However, those are pretty pricey, at about $80 to $100 just for a complete in-box copy. Or you can get it on GameCube. It's cheaper on GameCube. We'll discuss that in a minute. But basically, I would recommend getting it on either PSN, Xbox Arcade, where you can get it there for like $4, or if you're looking for, you know, something a little more, you know, something you can enhance, then get it on Steam. However, the Steam version is the DX version, which is a whole can of worms. I'll talk about that in just a second, but first, let's move on to some reasons why I like the game. Well, first I'm going to have to go with the cutscenes, because I know they're cheesy, I know they're dumb, I know they're horribly animated, but they have a weird sense of, you know, being at home. Like, I don't know, this was my very first Sonic game, and that would go to Sonic 06, which is unfortunate, but, I don't know, they have this weird charm to them. Next up is definitely the music, because it's just sent from the heavens. Both games' music is great. I do like Sonic Adventure 2's music better, but this is not dissing the first game here. It's just got some less memorable tracks. And I've made all these points before why everybody likes the game, but, well, everybody's right. It's definitely the controls, dude. You go way fast in the game, to the point where it can be annoying sometimes, like whenever you're spin dashing and then you fall off the map. It's especially bad in Emerald Coast. I think that's the right name for it. If it's not, then there'll be a little text thing there, but Uh, yeah, I'm gonna go with, although there's my reason why I love this game. Circling back, remember when I said the DX version was a whole can of worms? Well, let's get started. First off, they changed a lot of the character models to be more, I don't know, graphically better, even though they're basically barely enhanced besides Sonic. Sonic's the only one who got a completely original model, as far as I'm concerned. They removed a lot of stuff from the original Dreamcast version, like technological stuff, like running animations for Sonic and Tails. There was a motion blur effect for Sonic and Tails in the original Dreamcast version that was completely removed for Sonic, but not for Tails. Let me explain. So in the original Dreamcast version, Sonic and Tails had, unique running animations where it would have a nice little motion blur effect by stretching Sonic's feet/legs into different positions and then adding different layers of opacity to them to create and show how fast the characters actually are in the, canonical universe. Well, that was removed in the GameCube version, and the only leftover remains of that animation exist within Tails. So in the DX version, which is the GameCube, PC, the CD version, and the Steam version, and the PSN and Xbox arcade version all have the DX version. So in that version, Tails spawns in basically 9 Tails that have no layers of opacity. So he basically turns into 9 from Sonic Prime, except, way less cool. I know you probably don't care what I'm like. If my voice sounds different, that's because I'm sick while recording this, so yippee! Anyways, DX version, right. Besides that, if you really don't want to spend $80 on the original Dreamcast version, buy it on Steam. Because you can get mods that basically just change the game back to the Dreamcast version. Like, literally the entire game just is the Dreamcast version. Or you can get mods that turn them into the plushes from Gamma Stage if you really wanted to do that for some reason. I think the best way to play Sonic Adventure is on the Dreamcast, but I understand if you can't, afford it, or if you don't even have a Dreamcast, that's perfectly reasonable. But there's also another method to playing this game I didn't want to mention. Emulation. Just know, if you do choose to emulate this game, do not talk to me. Leave this channel. Actually, don't do that. I need more subscribers, please. Now that I may have convinced you to go out and buy this game, which you definitely should, I'm pretty sure you probably understand why so many people like this game now. I hope. Maybe not, though. You really gotta play the game for yourself. But let's move on to Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic Adventure 2. Honestly, my favorite Sonic game. Let's discuss how this one improved the already fantastic SA1. Graphically, the game obviously looks better this time around. All the cutscenes were done in motion capture, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. So they definitely look a lot better. This game also introduced a lot of characters that are still being used to this day, such as Shadow, Rouge, and Shadow and Rouge. Okay, besides those two, not really a lot of characters were introduced. It was mainly everybody else in the last game, kind of, not really, except for like Big and Chaos, but Chaos makes sense why he's not here. Now, Sonic Adventure 2 looks a lot better. However, there are some things that were taken out of this game due to the rushed development time of trying to get to that Christmas deadline. At least in Japan, it came out later in North America and Europe as per usual. But in Japan, it released December 20th, 2001. Excuse me, I'm having a brain fart. I'm gonna keep this in because I don't know you're recording this. But it came out June 19th, 2001 in North America. Now, this game, it has issues, mainly with loss of freedom. You can't really go wherever anymore, especially in the later stages. The later stages are very, very linear in both the final story, dark story, hero story, whatever. And they somehow made the racing sections worse. However, I don't care. because everything else here, all the changes that were made, are perfect. It's perfect. Everything, down to the last minute detail. And I mean that too. I would not change a single thing about this game, no matter how bad it frustrates me sometimes. Especially whenever I don't have a PC and I was playing this game, again, just for this video. And how many times I kept dying on Crazy Gadget. That stage sucked, but I still love it, because the soundtrack is amazing. Good God, the soundtrack. Let's talk about that for a second. We have such classics as Escape from the City, Radical Highway. Everyone is here, dude. You got Shadow in this game? Like, come on. This is the perfect Sonic game. Okay, let me calm down for a second. Let's talk about the story. Sonic Adventure 2 has two different stories that kind of intersect at points in the game. You've got the hero story, which follows Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, and you've got the dark story, which follows Shadow, Rouge, who for some reason is completely just very different looking in this game. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I'll pull a picture actually right here. Yeah, I know. Anyways, oh, and there's also Eggman in the dark story. But mainly the story is about stopping the ultimate life form, or prototype of ultimate life form, the Bio-Lizard. Which Sonic doesn't even do that. That's newcomer Shadow who does that, who's canonically dead. Yeah, you know the Shadow you know today? That's not the real Shadow. The real Shadow's been dead for over 6,000 chromosomes. Okay, dude, I freaking love this soundtrack. You've got Escape from the City, or City Escape, whatever it's called. I think it's City Escape, but just leave me alone, alright? You got City Escape, Radical Highway, Green Forest, White Forest, Fly in the Freedom, dude. Pumpkin Hill. Did I mention a ghost pumpkin soup for Pumpkin Hill is in this game? Yeah. Speaking of the rapper, we'll circle back around him to the end of the video for the little fun fact segment of the video. Now, I know for a fact you're all wondering, well, this game sounds like it was sent from heaven. Where can I buy it? How much is it? Well, same places as before, except a little more expensive on Steam. I'm pretty sure it's like $10 on there, plus DLC, so it's like $15 in total. Sonic Adventure 1 had DLC on all that stuff too, or actually only on PSN and Xbox Arcade, but you don't really have to get it. Which brings me to other methods of buying this game. Dreamcast, it's like $120. It's pretty expensive. GameCube, it's about $50. It's more expensive than SA1, which is honestly not that crazy, because compared to SADX, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle is honestly just the same game, except with changes that actually make sense. We'll get to that here in just a second, but real quick, can I just touch up on the fact that Shadow exists? Yeah, that's right, guys. This game introduced Shadow, and he has some of the best stages in the game, too. So, that's an absolutely huge W. Dude, I love Shadow the Hedgehog so much. He's my favorite Sonic character of all time. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about Shadow now, even though how great he is. We'll get back to him in just a little bit. But, dude, graphically, this game looks way better. The models were improved. I've already said that. Yeah. But you don't know how much better they look compared to the first game, because they look way better, dude. Like, the first game, the models weren't bad. They were charming, but they weren't good either. And also, the cutscenes look like garbage. But no one needs to know that. That's my real opinion about it. No one needs to know that. All right, nobody needs to know that. Dude, the story here, I've already discussed what it is, but like, it's probably one of the best Sonic stories, other than like, I don't know, Sonic Unleashed. Or, yeah, pretty much Sonic Unleashed, because, like, that's really the only actually good story. Yeah, I said it. What? The only good stories in Sonic games have been Sonic Unleashed, Sonic Adventure, and SA2. That's it. All the other ones are okay or just strange, like Heroes, and especially Forces. Like, dude, what? How did all of that happen after? Well, how did all of this happen after Generations? I don't count Generations as being a story game because it's really more of an anniversary thing. Speaking of which, if y'all are interested in a video talking about Generations, then just leave a comment below. But going back to what we were just talking about, Sonic Adventure 2. Let's talk about some of the stages real quick. So the very first stage is City Escape, which is pretty well known, but I think it's one of, if not the best, opening stages to a video game ever. Like, just I mean that too, like ever. You maybe disagree with me and say that Mario 1-1 is more iconic, or Green Hill Zone if you're really one of those people. But you know, I don't care, dude, because like it shows you, it walks you through all the controls and moves in the game without feeling like a tutorial. Let's just say that Green Hill Zone and 1-1, they feel like more like tutorials with how slow paced and easy they are. But no, City Escape's not easy. It's not hard. It's right just in the middle, which is perfect. Because there's some later stages in the game, mainly Crazy Gadget, and I want to bang my head against the wall to either the music or the stage. It's really like a double-edged sword, let's put it at that. Speaking of the later stages, for both the hero and dark story, they get pretty frustrating, so just prepare mentally. Because if you're not good at Sonic games, and I really mean if you're not good at Sonic games, you will get constant strings of D and F ranks. D ranks. I don't know why I said F ranks. There are no F ranks in the game. F ranks just mean you fail. Which that can happen with like challenge stages and time trials. So just beware, because this game is pretty hard and pretty harsh whenever it comes to getting a single S rank. I haven't gotten one. I've played this game for over 4 years now. It's a difficult task. Let's just put it at that. Anyways, the bosses. I mean, the final boss is really the only decent boss in this game. Because other than that, all the other bosses besides the Sonic and Shadow race, or Shadow and Sonic race, are pretty mid compared to SA1, because at least Chaos have like unique forms, because like in SA2 it's just you fight Tails or Robotnik. It depends on which story you're playing. But I beat the hero story first, then I beat the dark story, because hero story has the better stages, it has less mech stages, so I'd rather do less mech stages and more mech stages, which brings me to the mech stages. They suck. They go on for way too long. It's almost impossible to get an S rank in them. Not to mention the constant beeping of the mechs literally hurts my ears. And I'm sure it will hurt yours too, is to just... However, they're not all bad, because the music in them can be pretty good, like with Eggman and Tails especially as well. I mean, those are the only two mech characters, but... their music's pretty good, so that's a redeemable quality. They're fun sometimes. And they're really easy too. It's just they're really, really long because how slow they are. Emerald Hunt stages. We'll talk about those now. I think I liked Knuckles better, only because Knuckles had no time limit stages. And also the time limit they gave you for Rouge's stage is only like 2 minutes, which is nowhere near enough. Because the emeralds, they can be either really easy or really hard to find. There's one in Knuckles stages, the one where you go underwater, the underwater cave stage. If you screw it up, because there's one emerald at the very top of the stage, if you screw it up getting up there, you cannot get back up there, like, at all. So you'll have to restart the whole stage, taking a life in the process, and possibly having to, redo all your progress. Yeah. I really like how this game, the game's music kind of coincides with the levels and the characters especially, because the song you're listening to right now, Rouge's theme, chef's kiss. It's perfect. Everything down to I've already said this, but yeah, we're getting close to the end of the video now, so which means the fun fact segment. So prepare to be bombarded with a bunch of useless information you'll probably never use. So here we go. Okay. Did you know that the rapper who sung all of the Knuckles songs in Sonic Adventure 2, Hunted P, went to jail for illegal weapon possession? I'm pretty sure that was back in either 2007 or 2010. Yeah. Oh, and you might notice that the footage is now from Sonic Unleashed, and the music is now from Sonic 06. That's because I'm lazy and didn't feel like capturing any more footage for Sonic Adventure, because I'm lazy. Okay, so Sonic Adventure 2 on GameCube had a lot more lighting differences than the original game, which causes some cutscenes to look a little worse. Mainly Sonic and Shadow's battle, or the whole fake hedgehog introduction. However, it's pretty much the same game, and battle mode is garbage. Alright, thank you so much for spending your time, wasting it, I should say, on this 20-minute long video about a blue hedgehog living in a blue world where everything around him is blue.